We are gathered here in a moment of great uncertainty, where the world around us is shifting, where justice feels like a moving target, and where fear is being fed to us in abundance. But I come before you today to say fear will not write our story. Throughout history, artists have been the disruptors, the truth tellers, the architects of change. And yet, time and time again, when the political climate turns tense, when systems feel more restrictive, we are told to shrink, to soften our voices, to play it safe. But that has never been who we are. Art is not just about expression. It is about excavation. It is about digging beneath the surface, pulling back the curtain, and forcing the world to look at what it would rather ignore. It is about creating when they tell us not to, dancing when they want us still, painting when they want us invisible, speaking when they want us silent. So the question is not whether fear exists, it does. The question is what we do with it. Do we allow it to paralyze us, or do we harness it, transform it, and build something even greater? At DeRille, we don't just teach young citizen artists how to master their craft. We train them to stand in the gap, to disrupt through art, to be the bold voices that history will remember. We challenge them to take that fear and reimagine it as fuel. Fuel for resistance, fuel for innovation, fuel for a revolution of the heart. Because here's the truth. Art does not survive in fear. It thrives in defiance of it. When the political arena is tense, we do not retreat, we elevate. When resources are cut, we do not beg, we build. When policies aim to erase our voices, we do not whisper, we shout. And we do not wait for permission. We are standing at the intersection of a cultural war, an economic crisis, and a generational reckoning. The arts, especially in communities of color, are constantly under attack, treated as a luxury instead of a necessity. But let me be clear. The arts are not a side note to history. They are her story. They are what remains when everything else fades. That is why we must fight, not just to preserve the arts, but to elevate them, not just to sustain our work, but to amplify it. Fear wants us to be reactionary. It wants us to believe that our survival depends on waiting for change instead of being the change. So I ask all of us, what is the world we are creating? Are we building institutions that challenge the status quo, or are we waiting for permission to even exist? Are we investing in young artists who will shape the future, or are we waiting for someone else to do it? Are we committed to radical imagination, or are we letting fear dictate what is possible? We cannot just respond to uncertainty. We must lead through it. And leadership, real leadership, means refusing to be swayed by the noise of oppression. It means committing fully and unapologetically to the power of artistic disruption. So I challenge you, whether you are a creator, an educator, an activist, or an ally, step forward, not back. Now is the time to stand taller, push harder, and create louder, because fear only wins when we stop believing in our ability to build a new reality. We are artists, leaders, disruptors. We do not fear the storm. We are the storm. Thank you.